Okay, so good morning, everyone. Last week we were away, we didn't have any streaming, but today we're back on it. We're going to work the 24 movement simplified Tai Chi form, Yang Style Tai Chi. So we start off with our feet shoulder width, okay, and we're going to start off the first few exercises, do a few warm-ups. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and stop. Okay, to the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, next we go up, stretch out a little, go down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center. Inhale, exhale. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Center. Inhale, exhale. Okay, one more time. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, and stop. Okay, inhale, exhale. Hands on your waist. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and stop. Okay, cross. Hold your knees. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stop. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stop. Center. Hands on your waist. Few neck exercises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Down, rotating. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center. Hands up. Pull in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale. Okay, spread your feet, turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, turn, stretch it out. Switch. 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 Switch and stretch the back of the legs. Go to the other side. Switch again. And switch. Okay, let's stretch out, squat down for the downward posture. Work your legs. Okay, shake it out. Hands up. Pull in, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, stretch your wrists a bit. Okay, deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, shake out the legs, a few circles. Okay, reverse. Turning. So this just works the hips. Learn to pivot. Turn the body, turn the shoulders, and shake it out. Okay, shake it out. Get the body loose. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going to review the postures again. We start from the beginning, starting with preparation. This is mirror image. We're going to stand with the feet shoulder width. And first movement is preparation. And we have part the horse's mane. We start off here, open the stance, and there's left part the horse's mane, step out, twist step, hold the ball, part the horse's mane. Okay, so you have right and left side. Let's get back to the left side, and then we can do this movement, step up, half step, stork flaps wings. Okay, so you see the half step, there's some leg and foot adjustment, so you can see 1, shift, 2, plant the heel, switch the toe-heel relationship. Now when this goes up, you want to move the foot out a little bit. Okay, there's stork flaps wings. Now we're going to go to neutral. It's like strum the lute. But then turn to the rear corner, set up your hands like this, step out, brush knee and push. Okay, twist out, shift your weight, go to the back corner, hands like this, stepping out, brush knee and push. Okay, here again we're going to go back to the left side leg forward, to the right push. So we have the same step up to strum the lute. Now you notice the chest is angled 45 degrees. Turn this hand up, bring this hand back to the rear corner, fold the elbow, pick the knee up, repulse the monkey. And we're going to do this typically in the form it's done 4 times, and then we would hold the ball, step out, and we do grasp the sparrow's tail or ward off, roll back, press and push. So this is the left side forward. If we step forward and get the right foot forward, we have the right side, grasp the sparrow's tail. So the rear corner position is important in this form because we initiate the movement from the setup that's back here to go to there. Now we reverse the stance just to see this position. Your insert needle would be essentially the same position that comes from here, and that goes to fan through the back. So once you finish the grasp the sparrow's tail, and typically the form goes this way, we would be here, then we would hook our wrists and go to single whip. Now, because we're here, we create this movement before setting this up. So here's that back corner again. So that's the same position here, but we're here. So we're going forward, so single whip would be like this. We would come from here, hook the wrist, open the stance, and turn the palm out to we're in this position. Now we look from the side view, we're like this, single whip. Then we straighten the feet, and we end up with the feet parallel to cloud hands. So there's a 6 movement, arm movement going to the left. There's 6 movements. So let's try that again. From here, the first movement is setting up. So we do sort of a pre-setting for that, setting up. So that essentially is the cloud hand movements. But we do it just to get into position, set up our feet, and push out. Okay, so that's single whip. Now once we turn back to here, we start this movement again. With the step, we do 6 hand movements, okay, as one set. And then you're back actually to single whip. Okay, so let's just do that one more time because that's a little bit more complicated because we're moving our feet as well as moving the hand. So then we're going to start again, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we set this up again. Because we're turning this way, we open the stance and then turn and spin out like that. Okay, so there's your single whip facing that way. Okay, so you see that's in the Wu style we have our single whip like this, sometimes further, but this is the one that we're using, and then in the Yang style it's like this. Okay, from here you would shift, do that same half step, and fold the elbow because that essentially is there, and then palm strikes face. So if we look in the mirror as palm strikes face, the next movement you're going to do this. It's a big circle, and then we lift the knee to do a kick. But in this instance, we're going to go into this front corner, that's the left corner, and turn to here, get the heel kick into that corner, and then bring the 2 punches to the ear. Now in the form, we're going to make a 180-degree turn and do it in the back side. But with the mirror, after we do the kick here, 2 punches to the ear, we're just going to go to that corner and lift the knee, open the hip, do the heel kick, and then we hook. And that's that same 45 or 135 degree, because here we're going down, then we're going to scoot up the leg like this, and then we're here. This hand's going to go up as we pick this knee up to the golden cockroach stance on one leg. Okay. Now if we were standing in the front, we would be like this. And if we did this side, it would be like this. So when we're here, we turn to set this back corner up, step out, and then we go down, and then we're here. Then this hand's going to go up, and this leg goes up with it. Okay, so those are the 2 downward postures in the golden cockroach. One goes with the other. So, as you know from, if you did the other forms, a lot of times when you're in a downward posture, you go up to a golden cockroach and you stand on one leg. And then, like in the Wu style, we would do this. Slightly different, but it still stems from the downward posture going up. Just that in this form, we actually do it on both sides. All right. So there's quite a bit of balance in the 24 movement form, so you can work the right and left sides. All right. So that really stems from palm strikes face to the kicks. We open the hips, do the kick, go down, punch. Okay, 2 punches here. Now, if we were to turn, we would turn, pivoting the heel all the way around to this direction, and then come down, and then up again, open the hip, and then do the kick, and hook your wrist, and then you would go down here. So that would be down, up, lift, turn, lift, step, down, up, press, lift. Then we would do this side. This is just repeating the movement over a few times, over and over again, so you can sort of get familiar with the transition. So that's working the up and down and the balance position. Okay. So what happens after golden cockroach stands on one leg? You would do your next series of movements. So once you finish your downward posture, and we go up to here, we have the hold the ball, step out to Jade Lady Work Shuttle. So from the front view, what we're doing is we're here, we lift up, then we're going to step out to this side, hold the ball, step out, Jade Lady Work Shuttle, and then you hold the ball again, step out to the corner, lift the hand, Jade Lady Work Shuttle. So those two Jade Lady Work Shuttles go to the corner. But from the front view, Jade Lady Work Shuttle looks like this. So this is about eyebrow level. Some people go high like this, but we keep our structures a little bit smaller like this. And then sequentially is what we're doing, consistently with the form, but some of our postures sometimes slightly vary, because on the martial integrity side of the movement, they don't want to be too big. Although the 24 movement form is not really considered that. It's more of a health exercise. It's more of a routine that a lot of people practice. And one of the big benefits of Tai Chi is circulation. And circulation is something that's enhanced by movement, because movement is what creates all the physiological aspects of what's done during the movements. And that all happens intrinsically, internally. Your circulation from your nutrients to oxygen, oxygenating the blood, it's recruiting the musculature, the muscle contractions. All of that stuff happens as a course of moving. And, to get a muscle to contract, it takes energy, it takes chemicals, it takes electrical energy created by chemicals that are in your body, that, for the potassium, sodium. All of this stuff is built in your system, but you have to activate it. So Tai Chi is one of these exercises that stimulates circulation through that, that mechanism. But a lot of people just do exercise for the sake of thinking, well, I'm exercising and I'm moving, but it has to be very organized and systematized, and it has to be precise. So accuracy and precision in movement is what we strive for in all our training, especially in the traditional arts, because the accuracy of movement comes from doing it repetitively, and people that are just getting introduced to it really don't realize how deep the exercise can be, and how much discovery there is when you learn. And when you learn, the discovery is really from experience. You can't discover anything unless you've had enough experience to realize that there are differences. So when we're doing this form, we just copy the movement without any understanding, so we're just miming it. But if you begin to develop a deeper understanding of what's involved, then you start to realize that a lot more effort has to be put into it. So effort is really the key thing. If you don't practice it, if you don't do it, you really can't get much out of it other than memorizing a sequence. But you don't need to learn all these type of things if all you're thinking that you need is memory. So I call it the physical side of learning. If you start to learn and you program your body to do these movements, that learning is much, much more complicated, but that's what rewires your system to have these coordinated actions, to have relationships in the body that you didn't really understand or even knew existed. We just kind of do a lot of things and take it for granted. So anyways, we're at the single whip position. We did the Jade Lady Work Shuttle. So typically in the form after we do the Jade Lady Work Shuttle, we would have insert needle. So insert needle is from that back position, and we drop the hand in, and we set up our cross hands, step out, the same stance as single whip, but where hands are like this. Okay, in contrast to the Wu style where our single whip's like this. So Wu seems to use this horse stance more, and the Yang style does this. Okay, now from here we have to turn. We stroke down, right? So from here we turn, stroke down, and the hands go through this position to here. Then we set up the fist so it's just like a parry and punch. Okay? So that's what the movement is, parry and punch. Now, it normally would be here, and then you would do the closing movements, which ends up taking you back to the center and to the front. Okay? So that essentially is the postures identified, because if you can identify the postures in the form, then you can kind of extract that one posture and kind of practice it a bit so that some of the discovery that we're talking about of what that movement would be like and what kind of coordination you could build into your form. So we're going to go through the whole sequence so you can follow along with this. And any one of these, unfortunately our chat room is not working. Oh, so the chat is working. If you have a question, you can kind of address that. But we start with our feet close together like this, maybe an inch apart. And then when we step outside like this, that's your shoulder width stance. So this is preparation, and you begin. Relax the elbows and knees, hold the ball, step out, part the horse's mane. And we do this 3 times. And we're doing this so we can identify each of the postures. There's 3 of these part the horse's movements linked together. And then we go forward to strum. This is stork flap swing, sorry. And then we're going to turn, passing through center to the rear corner, to brush knee and push. And we do this 3 times. Now we shift the weight. So shifting the weight and pushing from the back leg is important, because all your strength and power comes from your legs. We repulse the monkey, discovering the rear backward movement, and the timing is both upper and lower. The legs and hands are coordinated and synchronized. So you just copy the image and you try to mimic that, first mimicking and then discover and develop some understanding of what's going on here. This is ward off, roll back and press, push. So this is grasp the sparrow's tail. Just to identify those 4 movements, that's ward off, to roll back, cross the hands is pressing, sit back, and this is the push. We go through these hand movements to single whip. Back to center, cloud hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reach out, hook, turn here, single whip, shift, step, shuffle step like that. 1, palm strikes face. Go to the corner, open the stance, heel kick, go down, 2 punches to the ear. So we go to the back corner, scoop down, open the hips, heel kick, holding it up, and then down to downward posture. We lift up, leg and hand goes up to here. That's a golden cockerel, right side. Set it up, go down, up the leg, press down, up to here, step to the corner, hold the ball. Now we're going to this opposite corner, Jade Lady Work Shuttle. Okay, then we're going to do this again, hold the ball. Now we're going to that corner, so we're like this. Shift your weight, reset to the center, going back to the middle here, insert the needle, fan through the back. Turn, parry and punch, toe out, divert, block and punch, and then you're going to leopard and tiger springs to mountain. That's a closing like the push and grasp the sparrow's tail. Now we're going to turn, square the feet. So this is facing the mirror now. You step out to the 45 corner, sit back, Pull this foot in. Everything is square. Drop your elbow. Close the form. And relax. And reset to preparation that has about maybe a 1-inch gap between the feet. They're not touching like that. All right, deep breathing. Okay, so that's the complete form. You can follow it along. It is archived. You can review it. There's questions. You can always either chat with us or let us know if there's a section in the form that you want to work on. But as in all the traditional arts, we practice form sequences as a mode. That's how we learn our movements. That's how we practice our movement. So the form really is housing the movements as if it was a book of movement, because it kind of works two ways. A lot of people learn the form, they memorize, then they jot it down on paper. They jot it down on paper, but then there's no real imagery, so you have to kind of interpret what you wrote down. Sometimes that's confusing. You could buy a book, read it, and get confused, because reading it and doing it, how do you figure all that out? You could watch video, but then how does that work? Because it's backwards when someone's doing the form when you're looking at it. So we try to capture all of the important elements, from the mirror image using real mirrors, to the facing you using a mirror image, to the following from behind, which is typically how you would follow someone doing the form in a class. So in a class setting where there's numerous people around you, it's a lot easier to get through the form. But when you're doing it with this format, it does take a lot more visualization. You have to kind of follow the people, and right now at this point it's only me, so you have to look in the mirror, and hopefully when I'm here you can see that this is a mirror image. You're following the side. All right, so on that note, the class is over. I'll see you next time. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe.